Am I the asshole for not letting a woman in front of me in the self-checkout? My mom sent me to the grocery store 3 times today. I was just picking up 2 packs of beans on the last visit and was in a rush to get home since it was 7 p.m. While I was waiting for a self-checkout to open up, someone who I guess was the woman's ride came in to check up on her, and then I guess she was in a bit of a rush because she came up behind me and tried to squeeze in front of me while saying, "Excuse me." I just ignored her and continued waiting, but then she asked me if she could cut in front of me and she told me she had to pick up her son from a soccer game. I thought it would be reasonable to say no, and I explained I only had 2 items and that it wouldn't take that long for her to wait since there was 7 checkouts, but then she started calling me a heartless bitch, and that I don't have the Christmas spirit and how I want her son to suffer in the cold and how people these days have no compassion. She also started talking about her labor and contractions when she gave birth, which I DK how that has any relation to me. Honestly, I was really uncomfortable. It wouldn't be hard for me to just let her go, usually if someone were to ask and they had less items than me then of course, but I felt like it wouldn't make much of a difference in time. I only have 2 items, and also it's 5 degrees outside and not even soccer season. I don't know, skeptical smiley face. Not the asshole. It's reasonable to say no. You were in the queue first, she's trying to get in front. No. Her reaction was so dramatic. IDK where the whole Christmas spirit and contractions came from. Sounds like you might have been the straw that broke the camel's back for her and that she took the opportunity to vent. That's not your fault though. Not the asshole. Likely a lie if it is that cold out. I would imagine, but regardless, not her right to demand to cut the line. Not the asshole, her son suffering in the cold was because she decided to shop. Not because you would not let her go in front of you. I bet you she doesn't have a son, lol. If she was in such a hurry then she most certainly did not have time to go into the supermarket because the lines are unpredictable even in self-checkout. Not the asshole. No is a complete and perfectly acceptable answer. That's hilarious. I am significant other sorry skull loudly crying, obviously not the asshole. You'll realize when you get older, but people that are in a rush are often mad at themselves for having extreme poor time management skills and facing the very real consequences that come with that. Not the asshole. Her poor planning is not your problem. Am I the asshole? I refused to visit his family on Christmas. I, 27F, am yet another year responsible for all the planning and gifting during Christmas. My fiance's family thinks that we treat visits to my family as more important, which is not true. We visit them much more often, that's true, but that's because they invite us to events in big advance. That's something that my fiance's family never does. They just assume we will show up on our own. We've explained many times that we won't, because we already don't have much of free time, so if they want to see us, they just have to invite us and we can plan it then. Anyway, my fiancé, 26M, did not put any effort info planning visits or any gifts on Christmas since we met 3 years ago, so last year I made it extremely clear. Next year I will make plans on my own for us. If you want to take part in it you can, but if you won't, then I'll assume you're okay with anything I planned. He was okay with it. This year I did not get any invitation from his family nor him, not a single word about organizing anything. I knew I could ignore them completely based on our last year arrangement, but I knew it wouldn't be fair. I called and invited us to their Christmas Eve, which they assumed we will show up for anyway. But the rest OD the days I planned all with my family and relatives. Today, 23.12, he informed me that we are invited to his family living 2 hours drive away on 25.12. I said no, we have plans. He got really mad and said that it's not fair that my family gets 3 visits and his family only 1. I reminded him about our talk last year, but he said I should confirm my plans with him anyway. I told him that he could have asked and I'm not going anywhere. He can go himself, but it will not sit well with me and there will be consequences for our relationship. Am I the asshole? Edit. To clarify. 1. It's not about families. It's about my fiancé. He was supposed to make an effort to at least call his family or start any conversation, so I could have details and could plan visits evenly. He did not, and then got mad when I made plans based on what I know. 2. I am the asshole for not starting the conversation. I was disappointed with how it went last year, that's why I've taken his declaration he'll be fine with what I decide if he does not show interest. I wanted to make a point, if you aren't invested, consequences are on you. 3. We are spending the most important day, Christmas Eve, with his family. It was all my decision. The rest of the days are planned with my family, it's only a couple of hours a day. It's not like every second is planned. I just won't go on 4-H ride both ways to see his cousins now that plans are already made. 4. It's not that my family sends formal invitations. They call and say, hey, wanted to know what are the plans. We are meeting there and there, what do you think? His family doesn't contact us at all. It's more like his sister calls if she can come with us and we are like, but where? Quote. In Ta, my dad was this way. Not want to be involved in any planning of anything but would get annoyed that things weren't planned that he wanted. Let him go to his parents. Don't bother going Xmas Eve. Maybe think about whether you're happy in the relationship. Babe, why do you want to marry a man like this? Not the asshole. Both he and his family have been given multiple chances to make efforts to see one another. Clearly, he's not as close to his family as he'd like to be. They were informed and decided to ignore the warning. If you're having these communication and family problems while engaged, it might be a good opportunity to end this relationship. It seems like you made plans and didn't inform him? You decided you're spending the days at your fam without telling him? I'm confused. You both lack communication skills. His family is different to yours. Yours plans and send invites while his assumed you'll come because, YK, your family. It's different family dynamics. So your boyfriend sucks the most, followed by you. Honey, you're only 27 and you've been doing this for 3 years. Think about it, you seriously are going to marry this person? And potentially have kids? And you'll be stuck with doing Christmas for the whole family on your own forever? Yeah, I did that and it sucks. Take a long, hard look in the mirror and ask yourself if you want this for the next 50 or 60 years, and hopefully you'll come to the same conclusion as any sane person and dump his ass. Am I the asshole? I, 31 female, had my daughter, 5 female, donate her toys before Christmas. This year my daughter wanted to participate in our country's version of Angel Tree. I agreed with the condition that she would need to donate the amount of gifts from her toy collection we would be buying for the child. The toys my child donated would not be going to the child whose list we picked, but to the local daycare who had asked the community for used toy donations to their playroom. My daughter happily agreed to this condition and chose her 3 least favorite toys to donate. We purchased the toys and other asks on the child's list and wrapped them together. We made a time of it and played carols as well as had Christmas snacks. I wanted this to be a positive experience for my daughter. Yesterday we had my family's Christmas celebration. My daughter was telling my mother, 52 female, about her donating her toys and getting to buy toys for another child that needs them. My mother was outraged that I forced my daughter to donate toys and that I was being harmful to my child by instilling dislike for charity in my daughter. My sister piped up and agreed with my mother, saying I wasn't being fair by forcing my child to donate her own things to participate in charity. I tried to explain to them I was teaching my child that donation costs us personally, but feeling of doing good for others is the payoff. My child doesn't want for anything. She has had more than 3 toys given to her already for Christmas, toys she preferred over the toys she gave away. I have left the family gathering feeling very emotional and upset. My daughter is confused because she thought she was doing the right thing by donating her toys and is upset that I was crying on the way home. I'm pretty sure I did the right thing, but I was berated by my mother and sister for nearly an hour about my parenting choices. I have realized condition is probably the wrong word to use in the circumstances. My daughter asked to participate in the Angel Tree, and I suggested and encouraged her donate some of her own toys to the local daycare alongside our donation. She enthusiastically agreed and was completely in control of what toys she was donating. We were well overdue a toy decluttering and were going to be doing this after Christmas anyway. This way she was able to be the one to decide which toys we decluttered and got the bonus of feeling like she was helping others. If she had refused, I wouldn't have pushed the donation and we would have still donated to the charity she chose. Not the asshole. Your family is claiming the right to parent your daughter. Your daughter was perfectly happy before their meddling. I suggest giving them some serious consequences for this so that maybe they'll think before meddling again. I'm not judging you, but I guess I don't understand the connection you were trying to draw for your daughter. Why would you put a condition on charitable giving? I don't understand saying to a child, I will only buy toys for another child if you willingly give away some of your own toys. I mean, objectively both are good things to do and it's nice that your daughter was eager to do both, but why the need to set up some guardrail to charity? To me, they are separate conversations. Soft, you are the asshole. It's not the sentiment behind what you did, it's the execution. Your daughter wanted to help another child from the Angel Tree. She wanted to do something out of the goodness of her heart. You used the opportunity to take more from her than she offered, and this can cause huge problems in later life. You could have done both, but after donating made it a game at another point further down the line. I am so proud of you for donating to people in need. We got so many new gifts for Christmas and the daycare is running out of toys. Is there any old toys you would like to donate? And allowed her to make the decision and enjoy giving back. Everyone sucks here except your daughter, who is a gem. Your mother and sister are wrong to discourage something like this. Even though your heart is at the right place. Soft, you are the asshole. You should have not levied any conditions. I will buy gifts for donation only if you donate. But I get that you wanted her to experience the joy of giving, and for that you are a wonderful person. Not the asshole based on OP's clarification. Not the asshole. What's wrong with your mother and sister? Do they just like to create drama? This reaction was ridiculous. Even if this was the case, in front of the kid isn't the place to do it. But seriously, what's their problem with charity? I wonder if a young child wanting to participate in charity made them feel some sort of way about not doing something themselves. So the answer of course is to make it out like you're doing something wrong. Don't worry, your daughter will sort this out with her shrink in 38 years. Am I the asshole for researching stuff when my wife corrects me or tells me something I didn't know? My wife and I have been married for 6 years now and she keeps getting pissed at me for Googling or researching things when I find I might be incorrect or I'm incorrect about something, or when I'm curious about a statement my wife has said. I know it's probably not the best practice, but I have explained to her I don't do it to try and prove who's wrong or right, just trying to improve my knowledge base and learn about something. I even tell her I know and believe her, but want to know more or why I was wrong. She just views it as not trusting what she says. Please don't do this to your wife. Even though you are not technically the asshole, the best kind of course, it is still really rude. If you think she is right 95% of the time, let it go. You are creating gotcha moments. Those are just terrible for married partners. If she is correcting you all the time, that is rude as well. We really don't have enough information to give you a good opinion. Info. Do you believe her when she says things, or do you need to Google it first? You are the asshole. How many times does she have to say it before you are willing to believe her? Put your phone down and be in the room with her. The specific details are not important. She just wants to connect to you. The information will be there when she's not. Nah, women are used to being second-guessed and doubted even if they're experts in their fields. You are allowed to research. Just don't do it in front of her. Wait. You do it in her face? If so, you are the asshole. You can't wait for her to leave to do it? My boyfriend does what you do and it pisses me off so much. I'm on her side, just don't look it up. Edit. You are the asshole.